Hey, I'm Rick Seaback, and you're listening to Poor Man's Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here at 565 in Bellevue. Stop Down, like I said earlier, on Thursdays for comedy. Stop Down on Friday and Saturday for music. We are here with guest comedian Vinny Palatucci. Vinny, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm on the wrong page. There we go. And there we go. Vinny Palatucci, everybody.
Did you see me pause like I was on radio delay? Froze up for a second.
Perfect, because by the time the internet down here works, it'll be all synced up.
Yeah, it'll work out.
Perfect. But thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'm excited to have you, man.
Yeah.
Vinny, I have to say, you're one of the guys who, when I go out to an open mic and I know that you're going to be on before me, I always look forward to you. I have to say.
Oh, I really appreciate that.
I do. I enjoy your comedy quite a bit, and we had Abby Elias on last week, and she was talking about your shows at Kingview. Are you able to tell everybody about that? Because it seems super cool. Yeah, exactly. I like the name, too.
Dude, that was my buddy's name. When I got the show, I texted him, like, man, I need a name for this show. And I texted him some really terrible ideas, and he just came back, Vikings, right? I was like, yeah, lol holla. And I was just like, that's it.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
But so how often do you do that? Is that something you do every month?
Yeah. So we have one coming up in August. We just had one the 15th of this month. We had Derek Minto on and Wolfie Comedian and cast of others.
But no, it's so cool. She was saying it has like a Viking theme there. So I've never been there.
Yeah, so it's a meadery. So they leaned into the like Nordic theme. I built like a ship.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I remember going to Kelly's in Bridgewater. Danny, you were there.
Yeah,
it was for a live show. But, I mean, it wasn't that night. But the guy we had as our guest, Doug, who was the bartender, I remember he had mead in the one night. And I was hammered. And I was like, oh, drink mead. And then I went on this whole thing about how I was Beowulf of Beaver County.
No.
Yeah. It was.
So you white boy that hard?
Oh yeah. It was bad. And then I ended up buying the bartender's shirt, and he signed it. And then I ended up giving him some.
What?
Dude, it was a rough night. But I have this T-shirt in my closet.
Okay.
Signed to Beowulf.
His shirt that he was wearing.
Yeah, from Kelly's Saloon. But yeah, that's always what I think of with that. But that's super cool. It seems.
I'll have to ask Kingview of Upper St. Clair.
Yeah, if they've heard of Beowulf of Beaver.
Yeah.
A B squared.
Not Upper St. Clair, Mount Lebanon. I do that all the goddamn time. Every time I'm filling out the messages to you guys to put you guys on. It's always Upper St. Clair, Kingview, Upper St. Clair. Fuck, back. Mount Lebanon, every single time. Short circuit my brain.
Yeah, but Vinny, how long have you been doing comedy now, and how did you get into it?
I think I've been doing it for about 5 years.
Yeah,
I got into it because me and my buddy were into comedies, that generic trope. However, it was never like, you're the funny one of our friend group. I was always the guy where they were just like, okay.
I respect your opinion.
They didn't want to do that. Like, oh, didn't see you doing that. But
yeah.
It's the greatest when like old people, like in my family, it's like, oh, you're doing it. Nope.
Let me hear something.
Yeah, that's always the worst.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell you something completely out of context that you won't understand.
Yeah, I find out. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, go please.
I find out most of my jokes are just made up stories about my family, just like gross exaggerations of something that was like peripherally happening. So I never want to tell them any of my jokes.
Oh, that's good. So for the show that you were doing every month that you were talking about, is that something that you've been doing for a while? How did you get into kind of running your own show? So you're in charge of that, right? Like that's
much like everything I've done in my life, I've fallen backwards into literally everything. Never made really a choice in my life, and
That's why we have you on.
And it's yeah, right.
Worked out.
It's a friend of my wife's who she worked with. I think he's an investor. Mm-hmm. And they were looking to expand and into entertainment, and they mentioned music, and my wife was like, "My husband's a comedian." And I'm 99% sure the first question he asked was like, "Is he funny?" Which is like the right question to ask, but how do you ask?
Yeah.
Right.
There's no right answer you're going to get. You're either going to get like the answer you expect, which is going to be no.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get yeah, and then I'm going to show up and do 2.5 hours of crowd work.
That's always such a weird question. Like, is he funny? Well, like I mentioned it, so I kind of think so. That's
right.
like I was saying earlier in the first half, I work in a restaurant, and like people will be like, is that good enough of a tip? Like on a party? Like, how do you answer that? Like, nah, I'd like another 3%. I feel like that would be right. At least a little more above the vig. But like, how do you even answer that? But yeah, with the comedy, is he funny? I hope so.
Yeah, right.
So how did that start out? How did the first kind of event go? Is this is that like your first event running it, or have you run other shows before?
I had hosted. So another one of those classic tropes is you get into something way too early into doing this. Mm-hmm. So one of my first open mics, I went to a mixed mic that I didn't realize was a mixed mic. And there were like two bands and then me, and then met through Chris Scriva of all people, and he plugged me into the scene. And once I got into the crowd, I posted about the mic, and it was immediately taken over by the comedians. Like bands would come in for a little bit, but then it was almost like they got pushed out. And there was this weird like DJ situation where the DJ hosted, but they brought me in to host because I brought in all the comedians. Truthfully, and I won't say the place. You can find out, but I won't say the place because it was honestly a nightmare. But it was one of those things where you get in it way too early, and it kind of skews your perspective of what to expect. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it was invaluable to me because when things go wrong, you can really learn what you don't like and what not to do. Mm-hmm. So it really helped me going forward.
That's one of those like tough lessons you don't want to, but it sticks with you, and you're kind of glad you did afterwards. But while it happens, it sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the best learning experience, I think, honestly.
Mm-hmm, for sure. No, yeah. Failure is
it's always there. Yeah. Keeps coming back all the time.
Old friends.
Yeah, we know each other too well. Vinny, have you performed here at 565?
The open mic.
Yeah. Is it a decent open mic for you? It's because everybody else
the open
says
mic's
it's
great.
pretty decent. Yeah.
What the fuck kind of question is that? We're sitting here. No, ask me that question off mic.
I mean, there's not an audience here. You could say it sucks. I don't give a shit.
No, the establishment might watch. I don't know. No,
I don't own this place. You could
great.
say it's empty.
The only thing that really sucks about this place is that there's no internet down here, and I'm too afraid to ask for the Wi-Fi password.
It's Beard Energy, but we'll get onto that after.
No shit.
Well, there's a number with it, so I'll leave that as a teaser.
Get out your random number generators, kids.
Got to follow Vinny Palatucci and Poor Man's Podcast on Instagram, and we'll give you the Wi-Fi password.
Giddy up.
So, Vinny, do you have any kind of shows coming up, or what's going on for you right now?
So I have something coming up in August. The date is a little nebulous, mostly because I forgot it.
That's fair.
That makes sense. Checks out.
I want to say the 18th, if that's the Saturday then.
Of this month?
August.
Okay. I was going to say, because that's tomorrow. Surprise.
Yeah, no,
it's happening right now, Vinny.
Yeah, I got to check with the bar. But yeah, we got one coming up in August.
Is that something you like to do, kind of being in charge of the show versus just being on a show? Because certain people like having the control, but certain people are like, I want as little to do with it, just get me on stage and get me out.
No, I honestly offload a lot of it onto my wife. I make
Hero over there. You can't see it on stage,
She's
but
the operation.
that checks out with almost everything I've ever heard.
I did a show at Parkway, the Very Good Comedy Tour. Shout out to those guys. I was one of the first people to put me on a show. I said comedy tour, Very Good Comedy Show. Anyway, and I forgot like halfway through my joke, and I was like, "Shit!" I had a really good tag for that, and my wife just goes, "Video games." Like, nailed it. I just went right back into the joke. So it's collaborative effort.
It's one hand wash the other. It's important to have that, I guess. That's how you know you have a keeper, Danny. Or Danny. I looked at you. Vinny. I'm sorry. I'm just used to saying Danny.
I think we forgot how to podcast.
Yeah, that's how you know Vinny has a keeper, Danny. But no, that's good to have, obviously. Vinny, for anybody who wants to find your comedy or anything like that, where can they find you?
VinnyPcomedy.com. We'll link to all my socials. I have a Google Calendar that has all of my upcoming events that I keep semi up to date. Sometimes shows just pop up day of. Sometimes I forget.
Absolutely.
No,
it'll keep you guessing. It's exciting following Vinny. Could happen at any time, man.
Never know what'll happen.
Yeah,
where he'll be.
That's me selling you on it. So.
Yeah.
You guys know
It's
Don't Tell?
mysterious. Yeah. Have you done one of those?
No. I'm Don't Tell comedian. I don't tell anybody nothing.
It's like the Fight Club of comedy, man.
Love it.
Just
Rule
like
number
wasting
one,
my
man.
time.
But Vinny, I think you're hilarious. Every time I've ever seen you, I've definitely laughed.
Oh, dude, I really appreciate that.
No, I do. Maybe I just understand your humor, or there's different, a couple different people who I think are just super hilarious, and I definitely think you're very, very funny. The thing is, with some of these open mics that I've been going to too, it's just like, oh, there's two people who don't give a shit. So why even? Okay. But no, I think, Vinny, you're very good at writing, and I think you're very kind of intelligent with your writing. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I've been Vinny Palatucci. That's great. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
No, absolutely.
Where's your Venmo? I'll get you after the show for that. Really appreciate that.
I don't know. I definitely have one because I keep... I shouldn't say this. But anyway, my...
Start getting Venmo requests.
I Venmo my one coworker because she helps me get certain things that I need from dispensaries. And I like to just add Grimace things. So every time I give her money, it's because of something for Grimace. So I've had Grimace condoms, Grimace Plan B. Every time it steps up a little bit.
Grimace lives on
in
your heart.
Absolutely.
Every day.
I don't know why Vinny made me think of Grimace Plan B. Here we go. But here we are,
It's
man.
the hair, right? It falls right into this
It is,
body.
man. You seem like you used to have 4 arms and now you have 2. That's a stupid callback to 8 episodes ago. But Danny, do you want to do a little bit of news and we'll have Vinny hang around?
Yeah, let's do it. The vibe. I've missed the news.
Just so we're clear, I'm editing out everything I just said.
It's just gone. It's just straight to the news.
Why did I say Grimace Plan B 3 times in a minute? But go on, Vinny. Oh my God, I can't get any name right, man.
Christopher.
Danny, I've missed you.
I'm going to wear a name tag. I missed you
Perfect.
too. All right, here we go. Top breaking story. There's a missing pet wallaby in rural Oklahoma.
Oklahoma?
Someone had a pet wallaby. Which begs me to ask the question, if you could have an exotic animal as a pet in your backyard that could potentially go missing, what would it be?
Is it...
Be a large cat.
Yeah, I was thinking tiger immediately, but that's because I'm a big fan of tigers. It's my second favorite animal behind a penguin, Danny. I expect you to remember this going forward.
I do know that about you. I thought you were going to say Tiger King.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Tiger's caught some heat recently.
But I think I would go with that. Although I just, for like a big cat, I wouldn't, I feel like animals should just be in the fucking environment wherever they belong to be. However, for a wallaby, I'd go kangaroo if I'm going marsupial, right? Isn't that a marsupial? Am I going
Yeah, if
double
we were
marsupial?
going marsupial, I would have an attack koala.
Yeah.
Them things
yeah.
are angry.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're scary.
You got to keep the eucalyptus on hand, man.
Just all the eucalyptus from Trader Joe's. Just in case. as a
Here's
defense
Vinny again,
mechanism.
all the eucalyptus.
He just travels around to every open mic with
Oh,
it.
yeah. Vinny
in
with the
case.
bamboo.
He's like, in case, my koala goes loose.
I love it.
I hired him like Kato, just to attack me randomly. Keep me sharp.
Danny, what do you go with for an animal? Leopard?
Obviously the leopard, because
Yeah,
it
that
is my
makes sense.
favorite animal. Or
Plus the picture of Sonny in your studio room.
that will be a family heirloom that
I'm
going to
post that again because I almost sent you a random picture of your is it a jaguar or a cheetah?
it's a snow
It's
leopard
a snow leopard.
that I paid $2 for at a Goodwill, and it's the best purchase I've ever made.
I keep forgetting it's $2, and then I remember that it was a strong purchase. But yeah,
It was.
is that what you would go with, or what kind of exotic animal?
It would either be a leopard, which, is the obvious answer, or, hear me out, a spider monkey.
Oh.
Because they're cute and they're small, and I feel like I may be able to keep track of it a little better.
Vinny, the question is, do you want it to be something you can carry along with you, say in a coach purse?
That's what I'm
okay?
thinking. That's
Right?
where we're at here.
A little howler monkey,
Little
in
harness.
in the pouch, or do you go with something big? You go with, like I said, a tiger, or a giraffe would be pretty fucking kick ass. I feel
would
like a
be
giraffe
cool.
is pretty low maintenance. Not low maintenance, but it's
Like
cool,
giraffes
man.
are overhyped.
Yeah,
They're just horses.
yeah, they are. They're horses with long necks, right?
Right.
Kind of like a zebra. Not with the long neck, but it's basically a horse.
They're probably
What's the
closer to
difference?
zebras than horses.
I don't
Or they're
know
probably
the
not even at
last
all. I'm not a
40
scientist.
minutes of things I've said.
Someone's probably like at home, like, no, it's not even close.
Yeah.
And you can look out like your bedroom window and know that it's still in your backyard.
Vinny, do you know anything
First floor,
about
I'd just see a horse.
Yeah, it's legs.
Vinny? Do you know anything about crows?
I know they're extremely smart,
Exactly.
and they make me question my place in the universe.
Dude, crows are the smartest fucking. They're crazy. Never mind. Danny, number 2. So dumb. I'm so glad I interrupted with that.
I would like you to know that.
Vinny,
one
do you know crows? You don't respect them enough. Danny, next question.
Yeah, shut down.
Good pod.
I think you need a crow daddy tattoo, and I will stand firmly. Well, it needs to say crow daddy.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing, Vinny.
In old English font.
Obviously. Is there any other kind?
Like I'm a snowboarder in 2002. Go.
Oh, Vinny probably is loving his life right now.
I just
Here we
keep
go.
realizing that I keep sitting like this and I keep catching myself out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, I look fat as shit. Put your arms down, dude.
That's what Jeremy said the whole first half. He was like, I hope I don't look Java the Hutt. Like, okay, you're good, man. I promise.
Anyway.
This is 99.
no, it's all
this
up
is
here. It's all up here.
99% audio. I promise you that. 99.5.
This will be the most watched episode ever.
Unless we make it real, no one's going to see this, Vinny. Don't worry about it.
You just make a real me, like a
Yeah.
supercut of me going from this. Like,
Wallabies.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Next top hitting story. There was a tourist who went viral for carving his and his future spouse's name into a brick wall on the Colosseum in Rome. He didn't realize that this was like an ancient landmark. He had no idea.
It's bullshit. That's a lie. That's
think
what you
it's-
say to the people that
Oh,
are
yeah,
like,
that-
oh, wait,
yeah, that-
wait. The Colosseum? Oh, this is the Colosseum.
The Colosseum.
the one from the books.
Oh, okay. I thought I was in L.A., man. I thought USC played here for the fucking Pasadena Rose Bowl or whatever. Whatever.
He carved.
That's my impression of that guy. That's what I would say if I was in Rome.
Well, that's what you would
Or
say,
whatever the
right?
fuck.
Like once
Yeah.
you were caught, like you're not going to say, I knew that I did that.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, obviously, I feel like you don't just walk up and then carve your name and then you're like, wait, what?
Like, what
Like,
was-
there's a
what was
line
that?
outside. You have to buy tickets to get there. Obviously, it's fucking important, man.
I didn't even think about that. You do.
Like, there's probably security at this place, and you're like, oh, wait, it's important? I went to Arches 2 months ago. You can't even touch, like, the side shit. Like, you're not supposed to touch the sandstone. You're definitely not supposed to carve your and your future divorced wife's name in the fucking side of the Colosseum, man.
I think it's bad luck.
I agree, too.
don't know.
I agree, Danny. I agree.
And do you know how the police found this man? I think this is great. They looked at the carving of their names
Yeah.
and traced it back to an Airbnb in Rome. And that's how they found them, which, I mean, great detective work.
They don't have cameras there?
They
They had to find the handwriting expert?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know. There seems to be some holes in the story, obviously.
They hired some guy to mount the cameras, but they arrested him too.
Maybe the camera guy was the guy who wrote it.
Oh, it's very possible.
Plot thickens.
Yeah, he's facing 2 to 5 years in prison.
Fuck around, find out.
Yeah, I guess.
Literally.
I don't know, man.
So wedding might be delayed.
Yeah. Or it's just behind bars.
What's that do for the divorce? Is it still on track now?
Yeah.
Probably yes.
Expedites it for sure.
Yes, absolutely. But so I thought that was literally insane.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's crazy.
very human.
Do you think that's gross?
I just hate every human being anymore, I think. I'm just like, why are you stupid?
Well, what does it say about me or the world that I was totally ready for you to say they carved their name in somebody's flesh? I was just totally ready for
God.
that to be the
Yeah.
story. And I was like, holy Christ.
Yeah. Because that's where we are now. We have to have that be the next, because just school shootings aren't big enough anymore. You know, just robbery and aggravated assault, that doesn't matter anymore. You have to have some bullshit where you fucking carve your name in the fucking Coliseum. Yeah, man.
You're just like, I didn't know.
Unless
Sorry.
you knock over Stonehenge, Vinny, it's no go. That's what I
I'm
say.
knocking over stuff. I'm just gonna bury Mr. Bean there.
Danny, what's number 3?
All right, number 3. It's probably the most important one.
Good.
There is a man in Iowa who has a collection of 70,000 pencils. And
That's the most Iowa thing I've ever heard.
it's going to be a world record.
Good for him, man.
The last record was 24,000 pencils.
And how many does he have?
70,000 pencils. I have a lot
Hasn't he
of
already
questions.
broken the record?
I think he surpassed it.
Yeah.
Like 3 times.
Yeah.
Where are they at? Like, I want to know if he has like a display of these
That's
pencils.
one of those things. Like, he spent his life doing that for somebody to kind of mentioned half-assed in a podcast one day.
Literally, yes.
That's
Here
his
we are.
life work.
Yep, that's his life's work.
He got fucking Ticonderonas out the ass, number 2s, man. But, that's how he spent the last 40 years.
What else are you going to do in Iowa, I guess? I don't,
That's a good call, man.
I don't know.
You
You
guys
guys are
Slipknot or fucking die. That's what you got.
You guys are ignoring the nutsack they sent out to count all those pencils.
You're right.
Oh, I'm here from
I'll
Guinness to
never
count.
regret
Yeah.
standing on stage on con. I'll never stay on stage again. What am I doing with my life? Because at least I'm not counting pencils in Iowa. What the fuck?
Is it, Vinny, I'll ask you this because you brought it up. Is it worse to be the guy with the collection, or is it worse to be the guy who has to count the collection and verify it?
Depends on what you're collecting. If I'm
That's
going
true.
if I'm going
Pencils.
to Jay Leno's garage to see
Yeah.
his cars, I wish I was Jay Leno.
Yeah.
If I'm going to a serial killer's house to see his heads, I'd rather be the detective.
Fair enough. But if we're talking about pencils,
Definitely the guy counting them.
okay,
Because
fair
he,
enough. Yeah.
He might go home and drink
Yeah.
himself into a
Right.
coma, which is way cooler than having 70,000 pencils.
He has to
fair.
deal with that for 15 hours or whatever it takes to count 70,000 pencils. 70,000 pencil
Can
guy,
we get
that's
someone
his
to
life.
do the math on that?
Right. And he's
70,000 pencils, you have to count one pencil every 4.2 seconds and then...
Oh.
I'm getting
Oh,
anxiety just thinking about it.
Good for him. I mean, this is what he wanted, right? This is the peak of what he
it.
could have gotten out of it.
is
His
it.
name will be in Guinness that people skip over to see what Elon Musk did for fucking SpaceX or what,
Right.
how many fucking OnlyFans will whoever had, because that's what people in the future are going to skip to. Danny, that's what I say. That's what I say.
It's fair. It's a
That's
fair
my prognostication.
Are you thinking in the future they're going to be going through a book of Guinness World
Oh,
Records?
no. There's going to be a
No.
TikTok of people that kind of just like bleh. It's going to be
It is just gonna be
idiocracy.
top tens.
It's going to be
it
idiocracy.
is,
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
What the
Vinny.
plants crave.
Exactly, man. Electrolytes. Danny. Those were excellent stories, man. I missed you. It's been a couple weeks. How was your break?
know.
I have to ask you that because you had a Pee Wee Herman doll that I had Well, it was a hand-me-down, I'm pretty sure, from my cousin from like 1987. And it was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. And then I forgot about it because my brain wanted to protect me. And then you put a picture out and I saw it. And I don't know, I froze up inside.
I looked into its eyes and I've never felt so unsettled as I have when I've stood in a room with a Pee Wee Herman doll. And
Beats a movie theater with the Pee Wee Herman.
I did not experience that.
Timely
luckily.
reference, Vinny.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Only up to the minute references.
Johnny Carson's gonna love that.
You guys heard about this Apollo mission?
Nothing relevant.
But it terrified me, man, and the chair terrified me as well. Same with all this. I remember I had it was like a My Buddy doll, and my chef at work was singing the My Buddy song. I was like, "What's My Buddy?" I looked it up. I saw it. It terrified me because it was at the same time fucking Child's Play was out, and it terrified me for life. So fucking Child's Play, the My Buddy doll, and Pee Wee Herman with the fucking cherry with the mouth terrified me forever. Humanistic, man.
And in the same room, Raggedy Ann dolls. I can't do it.
I'm with you on that.
I can't.
Raggedy Ann's terrifying.
No,
Andy, terrifying.
scary. Not good.
Lifeless representations of humans.
Literally,
Ugh.
yes.
I'd like to fucking
Off-putting.
pat myself on the back for being the 1% who knew Andy was with Raggedy Ann and is 32 years old.
You're hitting all the relevant
Yeah, man,
topics.
all the demographics, man.
You know, when I go on vacation, I like to go antiquing.
Yeah.
Like a 95-year-old woman. So
So wait, so where were you? You were south? You were at the
I-
beach? And then what was that? Just like a
it was
Old?
a little shop on the beach. I went to the Outer Banks
Yeah.
in North Carolina. Highly recommend. And that's what I like to do in my leisure is to go to antique shops. And
you
look
got to
at-
go to all the beach shops when you're there.
Oh, you have to.
You have to, even if you know you're going to hate them.
It's part of the appeal.
I'll look at all the ornaments. I know I'm not going to buy one.
I bought a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah, I believe.
Many items that
How
I
many
do not
leopard
need.
print things?
Yeah, so that's my pastime, and it was great, and I'm back.
Perfect. We're happy to have you back.
It's nice to be back.
It's great to have you back. Let's just go back and forth for 40 minutes. Vinny, oh my God, I can't do it. There's too many long E names. But Vinny, one more time, can you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, VinnyPComedy.com or at Kingview in...
Lebanon.
There it is, Mount Lebanon.
We're doing what? We're
I need to get my brain checked, dude.
happening to us.
Early Alzheimer's, dude. Bad. Yeah, Vinny P, that's with a Y or with an IE because I am neurotic.
Love it.
I like it, man. You got to have both.
I stopped correcting people.
Danny, where can everybody find you? And you're Danny with an I.
I
Two
am.
I's.
Danny with 2 eyes. You can find me on Instagram.
Should Vinny spell his name Vinnii?
Maybe you change it. Keep the
I
people
need an
guessing.
earring and live in like what, South Central Florida.
Those things could happen.
Never say never, but
It's just a thought.
Yeah,
It's just a thought.
that
We're not going to hold you to it
know.
right now. But Danny, where can everybody find you?
On Instagram and Facebook at Danny Kaufman with 2 eyes.
Well, there you go. Vinny, thank you very much for coming
oh,
on.
thank you very much for having me. This is a stitch. That
There-
wasn't even on purpose. That wasn't even on purpose. Just fucking throwing stitch. What are we? Just fucking nothing relevant here, ladies and gentlemen, and nothing relevant on VinnyP.comedy.com.
There you go. Find them there.
Podcasting.
Find
This has been great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
find Danny at Danny Kaufman. Find Jeremy and Dan at Bellevue Rhythm and Brews. Find all your Bellevue information there. They're doing a bunch of different things, but that Rhythm and Brews will be podcasting live from that. So definitely stop down and see Danny and myself. Hopefully Shay will be there. I don't know what else. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Check out our reels, check out TikTok, check out the shorts, check out all that stuff. You'll see the same stuff on everything, but it'll be on different
Repost
platforms,
and like
man.
it.
So, for the wonderful Jeremy and Dan, for the wonderful Vinny Palatucci, for the wonderful Danny Kaufman, I'm Chris. Thank you for listening.
All I'm going to say is I'm so happy
Yeah.
that I was allowed to be part of your day.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We hope you had a good time. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the show to catch the latest episodes and share with your friends. We can't promise not to embarrass you, And if you just can't get enough, follow us on Instagram at Poor Man's Podcast 412, Twitter at Poor Man's Pod 412, and Facebook. This is Pittsburgh's own Poor Man's Podcast, signing off. See you next week.
In my opinion, that sucked.
Woo! Woo! Poor Man's
Good people.
Podcast, the best podcast in Pittsburgh.
Straight cash, homie.